Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. We have some breaking news. It's being reported that Tony Ferguson versus Michael Chandler is being added to UFC 274, the UFC's May pay-per-view, and I absolutely love this matchup. And UFC 274 needed some help. Originally, we were supposed to get Charles Oliveira defending his lightweight title against Justin Gaethje, as well as Glover Teixeira defending his light heavyweight title against Yuri Prochazka. Well, it was just recently announced that Glover Teixeira and Yuri Prochazka were being moved to the main event of UFC 275 in June. So now the card was left a little lackluster, and it really needed this fight added between Tony Ferguson and Michael Chandler. And I don't think there's any way this fight sucks. I am super excited for this fight. I mean, stylistic wise, there's no way that it is boring. Michael Chandler is in nothing but exciting fights. Tony Ferguson, when it's competitive, is in nothing but exciting fights. And I know a lot of people are going to come out and they are going to tap dance on Tony Ferguson's grave. They look at Tony Ferguson's resume and his recent fights. He's on a 3-fight losing streak. And if you look at Michael Chandler, he's on a 2-fight losing streak. But talking about Tony Ferguson, there's a lot of people tap dancing on his grave. He lost via TKO against Justin Gaethje as Justin Gaethje stepped in on short notice to fight for the interim lightweight title when Khabib had to pull out of the fight. When the world shut down, basically took Justin Gaethje on short notice, a massive stylistic different opponent, and he got tore up in this fight. Justin Gaethje lit him up, eventually stopped him in the 5th round. It wasn't like a clean knockout or anything. It was just accumulated damage. He took a lot of damage. The referee stepped in. Look where Justin Gaethje is today. Justin Gaethje is fighting for the lightweight title. Then you look at his next opponent. At UFC 256 in December of 2020, he was dominated by none other than Charles Oliveira, taken down, held down, out-grappled. Look where Charles Oliveira is now, the undisputed lightweight champion. Charles Oliveira is so good. He has elite-level grappling. He has great striking, and there's no shame in losing to Charles Oliveira. And most recently, and probably his worst of the 3 losses, back at UFC 262, May of 2021, he lost to Beneil Dariush. And in this fight, he was just taken down and controlled. He didn't take a lot of damage in this fight, but he was just controlled on the ground. And Tony Ferguson's always had issues with wrestlers and, has the ability to take him down and control him. And that's always been a weakness of his. But where's Beneil Dariush? Beneil Dariush was supposed to fight Islam Makhachev for a #1 contender spot a couple weeks ago. So even though a lot of people are tap dancing on his grave, the losses that he has are to the elite of the elite. And I know Tony Ferguson's an advanced age. He's 38 years old. But we have to give the guy a chance to redeem himself. You look at Michael Chandler, he's arguably in a worse spot. But, people are always complaining guys need to retire when they've been KO'd. Michael Chandler has lost 4 fights by KO, and Tony Ferguson has only ever been KO'd 1 time. 1 time. And I know Chandler's 4 losses by KO aren't that bad. Some of them were in Bellator. He got decision by Justin Gaethje at UFC 268. Took a lot of damage in that fight. Was almost KO'd in the 2nd round. Before that, he got brutally TKO'd by Charles Oliveira in a very competitive fight. But Chandler's taken far more damage over the course of his career, in my opinion. And you have Tony Ferguson. I think, his best and worst attribute is his toughness, because somehow he just hangs in there and does take damage. But outside of the Justin Gaethje fight, I know a lot of people say that's the fight that kind of took Tony's soul. He took a lot of damage. He didn't take, a substantial amount of damage in the Charles Oliveira fight, nor did he in the Beneil Dariush fight. I know, there was those close submissions in both the Dariush and the Oliveira fight. But Tony Ferguson is hard to finish. And I still think that Tony Ferguson has some fight in him. And I think he beats Michael Chandler. Don't get me wrong. I think Michael Chandler has a legitimate chance. But Michael Chandler's issue is mainly his cardio and his chin. And Tony Ferguson is so unorthodox. He's going to storm forward and look to land, elbows, standing elbows, spinning elbows, just crazy techniques. And Chandler has kind of a suspect chin. And I think Chandler could get finished. But also, Chandler's biggest weakness, in my opinion, is his stamina. And Tony Ferguson, one of his best attributes is his stamina. Now, one thing I do want to say about this fight, and I think, don't get me wrong, Michael Chandler could win this fight. Who knows? Michael Chandler may come out and look with a wrestling-heavy game plan. And Michael Chandler is a good wrestler and could take Tony Ferguson down and control him and beat him that way. But Michael Chandler has never fought like that through the course of his career. Maybe just because now he's on a 2-fight losing streak, maybe he does that. But I think Tony Ferguson's going to win this fight. I'm not like, I'm 100% confident or anything, but I think Tony Ferguson can still win this fight. I still think he's a step ahead of Michael Chandler. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's getting too old. Maybe all you guys are right. But until he loses to Chandler, I'm going to stick by what I'm saying. And Michael Chandler's biggest weakness, in my opinion, is his stamina. He tends to fade because he's so explosive early on, throwing nasty power punches. If he fades, even if he gets an early takedown, if he fades against Tony Ferguson is going to TKO him in the later rounds. And one last thing before I go. If Tony Ferguson's manager did not negotiate this fight against Michael Chandler to be a 5-round fight, I am going to throw an absolute fit because Tony Ferguson's stamina is his main strength. We need him in a 5-round fight, especially against a guy like Chandler who's super explosive early. I think Ferguson has to be careful in that first, round and first half of the second round. I think he has to be super careful of those bombs that Chandler throws. Avoid those, but Ferguson has a chin if he gets clipped by one. I think he can survive. It's not like he's getting finished by guys nonstop. It's more of an accumulation, in the Justin Gaethje fight is what stopped him. And I don't think Chandler can put that type of prolonged beating on a guy like Tony Ferguson. But I'm really interested in this fight. Let me know. Am I crazy? Who do you think is going to win, Tony Ferguson or Michael Chandler? Comment it down below. Don't forget to like the video, and thank you so much for watching.